Okay, I'm going to show you another feature available on the Interwrite Gallery. Earlier we looked at lessons, and I showed you what was available with the online lessons. Now I want to show you sample lessons. We're going to use the United States. I'm going to choose Social Studies again because that's my area, but you can see that had all the different content areas available. I'm going to choose How a Bill Becomes Law. You can see the file is a JWB file, and what that means to you is, again, that you can use this. It's Interwrite Software, so you can use it with your computer that's loaded with Interwrite Software, but it's not something that you could take and use on a computer that doesn't have the software loaded on it. This is loading 14 pages. Now when this comes up, it says the subject level is 9 through 12, or the grade level, I should say, is 9 through 12. I've already read through this lesson, and I feel like that I could use it with my 8th grade class, so I'm just going to disregard that. And it's just like any other kind of lesson. You basically just have to preview it and see how it works for you. This goes over, just in general, using the 3 branches of government. It gives a general review of how the Founding Fathers set this up. But what I like about this is that, it basically gives you instruction. Use the pen tool to answer the following questions. So you could just pass the Interwrite pad around and let the students use the pen tool for this one. Same thing with this one. It basically allows you to answer. Now this does take time. When you have the student use the pen tool and you're passing the pad around, it does take a little bit of time, more so than just calling it out, but also there's higher student interest. So this is something that we haven't talked about. One of the great things about the Interwrite software is the fact that we have the Interwrite, the personal responders, and the Interwrite pads. So you could have your students use the personal responders to answer a basic review question. For our purposes right now, I'm going to skip over this and not explain that. It's a little bit more complicated than we want to get into today, but you can use the personal responders. This is another example of using the personal responders. Using the pen tool again, talking about Congress being divided into 2 sections, which we're covering soon. Another example of how you can use the personal responder in here. And this wants you to highlight the steps in different colors. So you would have, this seems a lot of text to me for the students to read and to do in class, but I wanted to show you that it was available. I doubt that I would have my students read this text and highlight this misinformation in class, but it does give you an idea of what you could do with things that you already have. And then it allows you just a basic review. This happens first, what happens next? This happens, and then what happens after that? What I like about these is the fact that it does give me some ideas of what I could take, of how I could take something that I already have and then maybe use it in the classroom. It sort of helps, gives me ideas. Even if I'm not going to use all the information that's here, I can use things that I already have and make them work with the Interwrite system, which is what we teachers do most of the time with our materials. So just going to show you what was available.